For Starfire, the moment felt unreal, standing in the heart of Azarath. The stones around her scorched and trembling, facing a shadow that seemed to blot out the sun. Trigon, the avatar of destruction, loomed before her, his 6 eyes burning like molten coals. The world had been reduced to an arena, torn between realities by Trigon's arrival. Everything now rested on her shoulders. She had not come alone, but even the Titans, her found family and closest friends, were nowhere to be seen. Only craters and broken pillars marked where battles had raged. It always ended this way. One against the monster, seconds ticking by, power surging, hope buckling. Starfire's energy pulsed under her skin, heat thrumming through her from hair to fingertips. She steadied her breath, remembering all the training, all the purpose she had chosen since leaving Tamarin. Trigon was a being older and more ruthless than anything she had ever faced. God who had crushed dimensions, who had broken her friends and left her waiting for the inevitable. But Starfire refused to accept the inevitable. Trigon spread his arms, cosmic and terrible, claws scraping against eternity. "You are nothing," he boomed, each word a tremor. "We're hope incarnate, and hope dies first." Starfire remembered Raven's warnings. Trigon was not a demon in the sense mortals understood. He was a living apocalypse, feeding on despair and chaos. Everything, down to the last light, he sought to devour. And Starfire was light. She let herself burn as she soared into the air, charging the space with ultraviolet fire. She summoned every shred of power, every lesson of fierce Tamaranian will. Her first salvo streaked through the darkness, bolts of crackling green fire that cut through reality. Each one aimed for his chest. Trigon grinned, his jagged teeth illuminating the gloom. Her energy washed over his form, and for a moment it seemed futile. But the pain was real, he hissed, and the ground ruptured beneath him. He moved faster than any giant had a right to, lashes of red energy whipping from his fingers. Each one carved canyons through the earth, forcing Starfire to twist and dodge with desperate precision. She answered each attack with her own. Her flight wasn't just escape, it was pursuit. Weaving between monstrous strikes, answering with flares of energy that grew hotter with each pass. The air turned electric, the sky hemorrhaged color where their powers collided. But Trigon was relentless. Shadows cast illusions, false titans lunged from the ashes, their faces twisted as they mimicked her allies fallen to Trigon's corruption. Her heart clenched, nearly faltering. But then memory, her sister, their planet, her fierce promise to never be ruled by fear or tyranny again. She screamed, a battle cry echoing across fragments of broken worlds, and fought harder. She thrust herself through the apparitions, burning them away with the truth of her fire. Trigon's laughter cut the silence, 1,000 mocking voices reverberating off the ruins. He grew larger, every wound she inflicted mending in moments. But with each assault, Starfire adapted. Her bolts honed in on slivers of vulnerability, the cracks between dimensions that made up Trigon's form. She found the rhythm within the chaos and struck between each beat. But Trigon unleashed an even darker magic, a tempest to suffocate hope itself. Gravity bent, and the realm grew colder. The shadows threatened to pull her down. Against the pressure, Starfire gathered her energies, drawing deep from the core. Her body glowed with the white-hot light of Tamarin's very sun. She rocketed toward him, pouring every ounce of her spirit into one deliberate blow. The impact shattered mountains and tore the veil between realms. Time seemed to pause as the power of Tamarin met the void of Trigon's hate. For the first time, Trigon stumbled, his 6 eyes flickering unpredictably. He lashed out, but Starfire didn't retreat. She followed through a volley of starbolts, a spectacular show of resolve. Each bolt burned brighter, burning not just for her, but for every fallen world. Trigon raged, the ground splintering, but with each second, he shrank. The power of light was undoing him. Raven's words echoed here. Trigon could not survive where hope severed despair. Starfire forced herself forward into the heart of the darkness, refusing to let go. The energy crescendoed, and finally, the shadow shattered. Silence settled after the cataclysm. Trigon's form evaporated, scattered across dimensions. The ash drifted, and the world slowly knit itself together, ruined but alive. Starfire fell back to Earth, exhausted, surrounded by the aftermath of battle and possibility. Trigon was banished. Not destroyed, never truly, but undone for now. Nearby, the Titans emerged, battered but intact, drawn by the light she'd unleashed. They stared at Starfire with wonder and relief, the hope she embodied now confirmed. A new dawn bled through the remains of Azarath. For Starfire there was no time for triumph, only vigilance. Trigon would return, as monsters do, but so would hope. And as long as she was standing, light would always be there to meet the darkness.